Hello guys, let's make some blueberry scones. In a bowl, add in 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Make sure it is loosely packed. A quarter to half a cup of sugar, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and give it a nice stir. Now it is time to prepare my buttermilk. If you have been watching me for some time now, you will know I do not buy buttermilk. I always make my buttermilk. For this recipe, I'll be needing 3/4 cup of buttermilk. So to prepare my buttermilk, I added in 3/4 cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. I set my buttermilk aside and proceeded to cube some nice cold butter. Please make sure your butter is coming from the fridge, not room temperature. Time to get my hands dirty, so I began mixing the butter into the flour, making sure it is well incorporated. Please do not waste your time trying to squash every chunk of butter in the flour. You end up with butter in different sizes, some large chunks, some smaller chunks, which is exactly what you want. Back onto our buttermilk. Few minutes later, our buttermilk is ready. Look at how thick it has become. Now you can always make your own buttermilk at home. So to the buttermilk, I went ahead and cracked in 1 large egg. Please do not forget to add in your star ingredient, which is the blueberry. So add in about half a cup of blueberry into the dry ingredient and give it a nice stir to make sure all the blueberries are coated with the flour. Next, beat in the egg with the buttermilk and pour into the dry ingredient. To achieve the soft and fluffy scones, you do not need to overwork the dough. So after pouring your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients, mix very gently. At this point, I remember the nutmeg I almost forgot to add in. So I went ahead to add in the nutmeg and continued mixing. I just eyeballed the quantity of nutmeg. On a flat surface, toast in your dough and begin to pat it down. At this point, your dough will look very wet and sticky, but not to worry. To make the dough easy to work with, I went ahead and added a little bit of flour on the top so that it doesn't stick to my hands. I patted my dough while forming a square shape. Please do not forget your gentle touch with the dough. Pat it down to about 2 inches thick and begin cutting into square portions. So this recipe gave me 9 blueberry scones. Next, I transferred the scones into my baking tray and placed in the freezer for about 30 minutes. I know the sizes are not exactly the same, but it doesn't matter. 30 minutes later, I brought out my scones from the freezer. They are nicely chilled and hard. I went ahead to brush with some buttermilk. Lastly, I sprinkled my scones with some brown sugar and it was time to place in the oven. Bake at 180 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. Guys, our scones are ready. Look at how beautiful they look. They are so nice, so soft, and very tasty. Bye.